You're watching the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. Welcome to Abilene, Texas, and a Thursday night important matchup in women's hoops. California Baptist and Abilene Christian meeting for the first time in Texas all time. Take a look at the standings coming in. CBU kind of right there in the pack. We're at 7-4 after a couple of tough losses. Abilene Christian right there at 5-6. It gets important as we move into the month of February. As we say, welcome courtside, everybody. Zach Carlisle with Sawyer Davis, Joseph Chapa coming up as well. Well, the standings kind of painted the picture. It's a really important game. CBU off of back-to-back losses, ACU off of a win. This is a fun matchup tonight.
And I'll tell you what, Zach, if you're any kind of basketball fan, you're in February and you're loving it. This is the meat of the season, and we're going to see some good games here in February and in early March too.
This is going to be a game that could be decided inside. It's our impact players looking at it. Two freshmen in the post, Grace Schmidt and Addison Martin.
And two freshmen that can get the game done. You know, Grace Schmidt, look at the season average, 13.4, along with Addison Martin, 11.4. These are two girls that will fight to the end.
Expect them to be on the all-freshman team, and they're going to decide what happens here tonight. Well, let's talk more ACU and the crazy week that has been for the Wildcat program. For more on that, we say hello to the third member of our team, Joseph Chapa.
Well, thank you, Zach and Sawyer. We've been talking all week long about how busy of a week it has been for ACU women's basketball. 4 games in 8 days. You don't hear that a lot in college basketball. I spoke with ACU assistant coach Weston Jamison before the game, and I asked him, Coach, what's the mindset like in practice? Have you adjusted the schedules? Have you adjusted times and how to implement different schemes? And he told me, Joseph, the girls are just having fun. It's basketball practice. They don't got to worry about a thing. And he said he compared it to a WNBA schedule. Well, we'll see here tonight against Cal Baptist, and on Saturday when they go and travel to my hometown in Edinburgh, how fun that quick turnaround road trip will be, and we'll see how ready this ACU basketball team is. Zach and Sawyer, back to you guys.
For ACU, a lot of important games, and another one on this Thursday night. These two teams met last year in California. They're meeting for the first time in Texas. What a matchup. California Baptist and Abilene Christian. CBU wins the tap. Glad you're with us. Off we go from Moody Coliseum tonight. The California Baptist team that comes in off of a couple of close losses. The CBU starters as they go inside to Grace Schmidt, phenomenal freshman, number 33. Trinity San Antonio, all conference as well, with Wu, Finau, and Clayman. Abilene Christian first touch for these Wildcats. Same starters that they've had for most of the season with Thornton and Earl. Here's Thornton for 3. Langstaff and Miller are the veterans. Martin, the redshirt freshman, inside. Opening possession for ACU, trailing 2-0. Already the early inside basket for the Lancers, and the pair of threes are no good for Thornton. Can CBU run? That's out of bounds, and that'll head the other direction.
Well, minus the turnover, Zach, already CBU has, fed the ball inside and gotten a clutch rebound. I think that's what we can see from CBU today is, feeding the ball inside, out-rebounding, because they're so much taller than ACU is. CBU's got some ladies over quite over 6 foot, and so I think that's what we can see from CBU today, being the taller team here.
A lot of 6 foot, 6'1", 6'3" off the bench as well. There's a lot of talent. For Jared Olson, who's in his 11th year with CBU, guided them through the 4-year transition from D2 to D1. That is now in the rearview mirror. This is their first year eligible for all NCAA postseason tournaments. Earl no good on a 3 here, so California Baptist, not only can they go to Vegas, if they win it, they can head to the NCAA tournament at the Division I level. And this has been a team that's been really good through the 4-year ban. 80-plus wins in their 4 years, and they're sitting at 11-11 so far this year. That 3 no good. Here comes ACU looking for their first points. Thornton's been busy early, and she's 0 for 3.
Seen ACU put a lot of shots, a lot of empty possessions here got to get something going here.
Sela Fee now trying to run the offense. 15 on the timer for Schmidt. Her and Martin going at it. Two youngsters. Phenomenal matchup. No good that time. Martin wins the battle.
And like we said before, Zach, that's going to be the matchup to watch is Martin and Schmidt, especially in the paint area.
Just over 2 minutes in, Abilene Christian has yet to score. Martin trying to change that mid-range style.
Getting the Wildcats going is Martin in her favorite area of the court.
So the two impact players with the only points of the game so far. Schmidt on a drive and draws the foul on Martin. On the other side, it's Julie Goodenough, also in her 11th year with ACU. Look what milestone she's coming up on. Her next win will be the 500th of her 29-year coaching career. Schmidt back to work off the inbound for the lay-in. She's got the early four.
And these girls playing for the ACU Wildcats have such a great chemistry with Julie Goodenough. You know that these girls want to get her to her 500th win, so that's kind of what's on the line for them. Also, we're in February, so these games are going to be huge.
And Martin back to work. It is the Schmidt and Martin show so far, 4 for each post player. Wu looks into the paint, now Clayman. Oh, that little reverse side on Miller. That's an interesting little one-on-one battle as well, with Brittany Clayman and Maddie Miller, a pair of fifth years. Clayman a grad transfer.
So we definitely have a opposite ends of the spectrum, the freshman battle and the fifth-year battle.
Yeah, Clayman third year with CBU. Off the steal, Trinity San Antonio lays it in.
And San Antonio is another just kind of playmaker for CBU. When you get your eyes on Schmidt, here comes San Antonio, either with a three ball or the fast break score. She can do it all.
Of note, CBU is trying to figure this out without Nene Calhoun, their outstanding junior guard at point guard spot. She really directs that traffic for this team. Travel on Martin gives it away, and so I'm curious without Calhoun how they are, especially late in the game. They had a couple of close losses last week. That is the travel on Martin, and back to the Lancers it goes. Wu gonna launch at the lefty, connects the game's first triple. The junior out of California, third year with the Lancers as well, a 5-point lead early.
Looks like that was a lefty shot from Wu too. Something special you don't see every day.
Into the corner, this is Langstaff. Her three is good. She's been shooting a lot better as of late from distance. Answers the triple.
And I love back-to-back threes. Makes the game way more fun.
Langstaff, another grad student, first-year Wildcat transfer. Into the paint, San Antonio again. Now we're getting up and down a little bit. This is fun to watch.
Both teams scoring really quick there.
San Antonio,
hopefully they can keep it going.
She can create in so many ways. Miller wants in on this fun early.
Look at that.
21 points in the game's first 5 minutes combined.
You know, while we're here, we might as well score some points, I guess.
San Antonio stripped of it. It's going to get it back. 15, let's shoot it. Earl's going to take it away. One-on-one with Fee now, lays it in.
Nice fake pass there from Earl, and she gets the bucket done.
This is high-flying, high-paced. Another takeaway, Thornton. Well, then San Antonio went to get it, and we've got a foul, and it's on Trinity San Antonio of CBU. It's our first time out. Both teams need a breather. 12-11 early. This is fun. Good start in Abilene, Texas.
Get ready for an entire week in WAC Vegas. More teams, more games. The 2023 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament. March 6th through the 11th at the Michelob Ultra Arena and the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to waxsports.com.
The world needs more light bringers and courageous leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small, creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
California Baptist and Abilene Christian, high-flying start. CBU doing it without their starting point guard, Nene Calhoun. For more on that, let's send it to Joseph.
Well, thank you, Zach. I want to reiterate something that you alluded to in the start of the first quarter. And Nene Calhoun, starting point guard, California Baptist has lost their past 2 consecutive games by less than 5 points. Nene Calhoun, the junior guard from Riverside, California, is averaging 7 points a game. So if you do the math, her closing ability, her ability late in the shot clock, late in the fourth quarter, for the coach and for the team to turn to her is lost here tonight. So the question for the Lancers will be, how do they fill that void without their starting point guard, who again, like you said, Zach, not only can be a floor general, but also close games out against a contested Abilene Christian team that looks to put the heels up against California Baptist. We'll just have to wait and see. Guys, back to you.
Joseph, thank you. Yeah, that's when you don't have your point guard, late game situations matter, and we kind of talked about it. And Sawyer, you and I kind of talked about this coming into this game. Late game situations without your point guard get challenging, and they had 2 games last week where they lost by a combined 5 points.
And that's got to be frustrating in itself, losing by, the first game they lost to, I believe it was New Mexico State by 4 points, then turning around losing to Sam Houston by 1 point. So one of the keys to this game is, finish the game in crunch time especially, and it's going to be hard without their star point guard. For the Abilene side, it's guard the perimeter, and we've already seen it from San Antonio. She can shoot the ball any way she wants, and also they got some height, so they're going to have to guard the paint.
San Antonio no good, but then the putback is an and one for Chloe Webb. The 5'8" junior guard getting on the glass, and a chance for 3 here. Well done by Webb.
Webb got that Euro fake, nice footwork. Ball doesn't go in, but they get the foul. And it's Webb at the line.
Junior out of San Diego, and a transfer from UC Irvine. First year with CBU. Played in 63 games for UC Irvine. Stays in the state. And nice play at that end. CBU back in front by 2. ACU second chance here after the miss. Claire Graham, the young freshman out there. Number 23. 10 to shoot it. Miller has a 3 already. Kicks it. Martin will take a 3. Not the shot you would think you want her taking, just 1 for 14 rather now on the season.
Yeah, you don't ever see Martin outside the perimeter. ACU had great ball movement right there. They just couldn't find the shot they wanted. Forced Martin outside.
Barros had it, and the pass taken away. Graham, she was stripped. It's a foul. It's a foul on Webb in transition, and Graham goes all over the place to take it away, and she'll shoot free throws.
She flew right after the shot attempt, landed right on that knee, but hopped quickly back up. And she's going to shoot some free throws here.
Claire Graham, the freshman out of Tuscola, Texas. Close by to Abilene, a local product. Julie Goodenough telling us that she was very excited to get Graham to Abilene Christian. Someone she has known ever since Graham was a little kid. Julie Goodenough, a West Texas native as well, recruited Graham and has her on her team in 2023.
And Graham's got to be happy to be able to stay kind of in her home roots and play the game she loves.
Webb no good on the three. Graham rebounds. 14 up so far, an outstanding first quarter. Harjo looks inside, little high-low to Langstaff, the veteran. It's a jump ball, I believe, with Webb, and we've seen a very active Chloe Webb so far. Substitution for the Lancers, Brittany Kleeman returning to the lineup, and Sela Fee now takes a seat. Kinsley Barrington, a junior, number 3 out there as well in Navy. Thornton looking to drive. There's Harjo, awkward catch. Now Thornton with the left hand draws the foul.
That was a beautiful pass inside to Harjo and even a beautiful spin move at the top. And she throws the ball up, can't get it to fall, but she gets fouled. Some beautiful moves there by
Thornton,
Aspen Thornton.
Sophomore out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Led the country in scoring last year at the Division II level for Ouachita Baptist. A first-year Wildcat, one of 5 transfers on this roster. ACU does not have a true junior, a true senior. They have 2 fifth years, and everyone else is a sophomore or a freshman, a young Wildcat group.
And those fifth years have done a great job leading the team thus far with their experience. But I think Coach Goodenough has done a great job at instilling leadership in their young girls, which can prove a bright future for ACU.
12 to shoot it. Time running out. Felipa Barros got to go. The lefty Barrington, her 3 no good. Ball tapped around. Here comes ACU. Defense is starting to take over a little bit. Kicking it out, and that is a 3 off line for Earl. Barrington with a clear out.
Earl's now got 2 empty threes. She's only shot 2, so she's 0 for 2 from beyond the arc.
Barrington, second chance. No good, but the offensive board. Boy, Chloe Webb is fun to watch. Ball tapped free out of bounds. It stays here with 8 to shoot it.
Everywhere where you look on this court, it's Chloe Webb. She's just everywhere.
Gets a steal or the rebound or tries to take a charge defensively. And that's Chloe Webb's game. Also, by the way, averaging double figures, 10 points a game off the bench.
You know, just something cool.
Step back, and that 3 rims up and in. Clayman got it to drop for the lead for the Lancers. Maddie Miller short on that 3. And then the foul committed for Abilene Christian. It's on. Well, no, it's on Barrington for CBU, so it stays at this end after the missed shot. 4 fouls in the quarter from California Baptist and 3 for ACU. No field goals in the last 3.5 minutes for Abilene Christian. Both sides have gone a little dry here.
We're going to look if they can change that by giving it to number 12, who's empty again.
Martin's first miss. 2 for 3 from the field. Hasn't had a lot of touches since the first couple possessions of the game. There's Webb. Doing the dirty work and now has the 3.
Smooth shooting from the Lancers puts them up 4. As we go into the second at the end of the first.
Abilene Christian with Earl lining one up. She hit 3 threes on Monday in the win over Utah Valley. ACU winning that game 73-46 to snap a 3-game losing streak. Now no shot clock, and CBU can hold for the final possession of the first.
You know, in watching Earl warm up, I don't think she missed a shot in the warm up, and looks a little cold here to end the first quarter.
Seven to go for Webb. Tries to feed it to Schmidt. And out of bounds it goes with 5 seconds to go. Three seconds.
Christian.
Thornton's fouled. She's fouled before the time runs out. So this should be free throws for Thornton, and we'll see how much time goes back on. Chloe Webb called for the foul, I believe.
Foul is called on the Lancers, number 2, Chloe Webb. That is her second foul, team's 5th foul.
And so that's the 5th foul of the quarter, but right at the end, they're going to put 4/10 back on. Thornton will shoot 2. A mistake by CBU at the end of the period. Oh, and Thornton no good on the first.
Thornton, a 75.6% free throw shooter.
Well, that takes us to the end of the first quarter. California Baptist in front of Abilene Christian. WAC Hoops on ESPN resumes after these messages. Start of the second quarter in Abilene, Texas, with California Baptist in front by 4 over Abilene Christian. Well, for CBU, 8 points to get things started for Chloe Webb off the bench. Let's talk more about Webb. Send it over to Joseph Chapa.
the junior from San Diego, California, is already having tonight, leading her team with 8 points, 3 of 3 from the field, perfect from the three-point line, 3 rebounds. Let's talk about her best game this season so far against Cal State, and she exploded for 20 points and 18 rebounds as a guard. Let's talk a little bit more about her history. I know we're in the spirit of the Super Bowl this week. Her uncle is Super Bowl MVP running back for the Denver Broncos, Terrell Davis. So she's got a long line of family history of stars in athletics, and she's already proven to be a star here in her first year in the Lancers uniform. Let's see what she can continue to do here out in Moody Coliseum. Gentlemen, back to you.
Joseph, thank you. And boy, a lot's happened as they go inside to Grace Schmidt, who we feel like we haven't talked about a little bit here the last back half of the first quarter. But back-to-back threes for each side, then Schmidt to work, and a 6-point lead for CBU. Thornton, who missed a couple of free throws at the buzzer, then is able to drive it and convert it for 2. And this thing has just been back and forth so far this first half.
Well, at the end of the first quarter, ACU was only shooting 38% from the field. They've quickly moved that up to 47 in the start of the second quarter as they finally starting to get some shots to fall and getting the ball back in their possession.
Sela Finau, no good on that possession for the Lancers. Bella Earl has it now for ACU. The Wildcats shooting it 47% for the game. Earl wide open. No good. There's Miller blocked from behind by Finau.
Great awareness by the Lancers there, because that was a quick rebound there by Maddie Miller, but they swatted out of her hands.
Talk about great awareness for Finau to throw that off of ACU out of bounds. Stays with CBU, some well-deserved rest for Sela Finau. Felipe Barros into the game for the Lancers. CBU shooting 55% from the field.
Yeah, their shooting has really looked on fire, especially in the first part of this second quarter, and there's our girl, Grace Schmidt, getting things done in the paint.
Offensive rebound in the putback. Julie Goodenough said, you know, well, we've seen a lot of good freshmen this year. There is Miller, no good on that 3. She said Schmidt is right up there for that WAC Freshman of the Year award, and with the incredible season she's having in a rookie campaign. Wu for 3 at the top. Timeout, Abilene Christian. Dorcas Wu buries one, and the lead is 9 for California Baptist. 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Biggest lead of the night for the Lancers.
The community at ACU TV is exceptional. I think it's what really sets it apart from other universities and other organizations just on ACU's campus.
Working at ACU TV, I have gotten so much great experience in all different aspects, whether that was just taking on leadership roles or just learning new things and really just jumping in and being hands-on with equipment.
So the first time I walked in here, I was a high school senior, but I walked in and I was blown away by the production and the level of production ACU was putting on. And so to see the amount of effort being poured into a sporting event at ACU on ESPN was huge. And so to see that as a high school senior sold it for me. I was like, yes, I'm gonna be at ACU because this is where I wanna be, this is where I can excel.
Coming to college and to know that you're making content for ESPN, that's unreal. For students to come in and be able to get hands-on experience that quickly, it's a blessing.
I would have never thought that I would be doing things I'm doing now. If you said I was going to be on ESPN Plus and working with professional reporters and seeing all the stuff that goes into that, I would have called you crazy because I didn't think that freshmen got that opportunity. But here at ACU, everyone gets that opportunity, and it's awesome. And I think that's what sets us apart from other universities. At a young age, we allow people to get that experience, and you only get better from there.
Really not a lot of students across the world get to be able to do what we do here at ACU. If you want to be a journalism major, you want to be in sports broadcasting, this is the place for you. But you get the tools of what it's going to be like. You know, you want to work in Fox Sports, ESPN, those major networks one day, this is where you translate it. This is where you get that exact same experience. This is first class.
California Baptist in front by 9 over Abilene Christian. Hey, Tuesdays on ESPN Plus. Get in-depth coverage of all things Abilene Christian women's basketball. It's the Julie Goodenough Show, presented by ACU TV every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. Julie Goodenough having to call that timeout for ACU. It's expanded to a 9-point deficit, and it starts at this end for Abilene Christian. They're going to have to figure out how to maybe keep pace with this good California Baptist offense.
And keep pace is a good way to put it. I think California Baptist has really just played to their game. ACU trying to keep up, but not really working, obviously, as they're down 9.
Zach Carlisle with Sawyer Davis. Glad to have you with us tonight. As ACU, who had a 3-game losing streak, come to a close with a win Monday. Part of a busy week. They'll play Saturday on the road as well. And a big part of their season. California Baptist, they need this one too after back-to-back home losses. Langstaff at the shot clock buzzer is no good. Barros with a rebound. And now San Antonio in transition. Oh, Wu's been on fire from deep so far. Rims off that time.
And that's quick offensive possession. And also the Lancers have, quick defensive footwork, I guess I should say. They just held ACU to a shot clock, close to a shot clock violation. Got the last second shot off. But yeah, their defense is just all over the place. They get quick offensive shots, so that's the speed the Lancers are working with tonight.
Martin turning. Had to get it out of the lane. 15 to shoot it, Langstaff. Miller hit a 3 in the first quarter. Zoe Jackson into the game and into the scoring column with a triple.
Welcome into the game, Zoe Jackson.
The backup point guard, the sophomore transfer from Butler. 4 minutes into the second. Wu again, confident shooter, offline. Langstaff in, will turn, blocked away by Wu.
And you have 6-foot junior Dorcas Wu in the paint defending you. That's what you can expect, is a lot of blocks.
Clayman off the fake and then missing the 3 in transition. Lead of 6 for CBU. Martin, the redshirt freshman out of Louisiana. Her on Schmidt. What a matchup. 10 for Miller. Back to Martin. There she goes. Those two will go at it all night.
All night long. They already have, and they will continue to do so.
Right now, California Baptist looking to end a little bit of a 2-minute scoring drought. Changes pretty quickly. Trinity San Antonio, all-conference star for the Lancers.
And it doesn't matter what defensive look you give her. San Antonio is going to figure out a way to score, either driving in or shooting from outside.
12 double-digit games. A couple of double-digit rebound games as well. Langstaff, another one. Boy, she's starting to really heat up from distance. Malia Langstaff. Multiple threes tonight. Shooting upwards of 52% in the last 7 games from 3. 12 to shoot it, and Schmidt had to go back out with it to Wu.
You see ACU there really bringing the bodies inside the paint to try to defend Schmidt. Looks like a foul there on.
It's on Earl.
Yeah.
Defending San Antonio late in the shot clock. Subs in for both sides in this 3-point game. Back to the Langstaff 3-pointer. Go inside and work it right back out.
Inside to Martin. She takes it right out. And that's going to work every time if ACU can get it done.
Off the fake, Barrington trying to create. Open look Brittany Clayman from downtown, senior out of Australia.
A little bit of the same flavor there. It feed it inside, no open shot. Give it back outside, and the Lancers find another three.
Into Harjo, who goes off the glass. Everybody into the game. Everybody is scoring it. This has just been up and down and high flying in this first half. 3.5 until the break. San Antonio short. Out of bounds it goes.
Back in for the Wildcats is number 3, Bella Earl.
Earl checks back in for Miller.
Yeah, and Zach, the way you said it, I think you can expect a high-scoring game at the pace these two teams are scoring on each other.
Talked to Julie Goodenough, the ACU head coach, and she just said, well, honestly, here's Harjo first. That three, no good. She said being young kind of helps us in a week like this. They don't get as tired as fast. If we had a bunch of fifth years, maybe it wouldn't be as much of the same, but they'd rather play a game than practice, and 4 games in 8 days really hasn't fazed the team much.
And like our friend Joseph Chapa on the sideline report said, it's kind of like playing an NBA schedule, and these girls are just having fun. They get to play all these consecutive games, and they get to learn quickly, and they're having a lot of fun, and they get a little taste of what the pros could be, and having young bodies is definitely going to help them for sure.
San Antonio at the line. The sophomore out of California. Not only does she score a ton, she's out on the floor. 5 30-plus minute games this year. Just spectacular. However, had a rough shooting night Saturday in the loss to Sam Houston. Trying to get back on track today. She's had herself a much better first half.
Another block for the Lancers there.
They're so good at this end too. Transition no good for Webb. And then a foul after the rebound for Martin.
Nice physical rebound there for Addison Martin. She uses those elbows, make sure she doesn't ever let go of that ball.
Just a quick note for San Antonio. 4 points in the loss to Sam Houston. Already 8 in the first half tonight against ACU. And what is turning into an important road trip for California Baptist tonight here at ACU and Saturday at Tarleton.
And I think especially with the absence of Calhoun, I think she really realizes how much she should put the team on her back and pick up the slack for the absence of Calhoun, and she's done a fantastic job of that tonight.
Jackson now 1 for 2 basically from the same spot. We have a foul on the rebound attempt, and it's at this end. I think it's on Webb. No, they'll get Barrington. So the second foul for Kinsley Barrington. She'll take a seat. And Schmidt returns to the CBU lineup. Martin is on the perimeter. 2 bigs with Martin and Harjo for Abilene Christian. Jackson's gonna take another 3 and she hits it. Her second make from downtown. Not necessarily her strength, hitting 3-pointers. 2 of them tonight, 12 on the season coming in.
Well, if you had never seen her play, you would not think that at all. She has 2 clutch threes here, really putting on a shooting clinic here.
They reset with 8. San Antonio sends it over, and it's a late shot clock 3 for Barros.
Timely passing from the Lancers is going to create that open look for the 3, which they have done flawlessly, and they continue to do that tonight.
Martin's fouled after that acrobatic pass from Jackson. Coming up, ESPN Halftime Report. We'll be right here courtside to break this thing down with first half stats presented by First Bank. Texas highlights and analysis as well. It's all coming up on the ESPN Halftime Report. It is Martin to the line. The redshirt freshman tore up her knee before the season started last year, took the medical, and is in her first season playing, averaging 11.5 points and 6 rebounds a night. What a season.
Went through a devastating ACL tear, as you can see that big old clunky knee brace there on her right knee. Devastating for her in that season, but she's done a great job to recover, and now she's the star of the show here for the Wildcats.
Another rebound for Martin. After the miss for Clayman. Under a minute until the break. In a 4-point game, Miller backing down. That almost went in somehow. And then Miller there, and Abilene Christian's able to take it away. Earl spinning, no good. She's trying to go get it. It's out of bounds to California Baptist. Couple of chances there. And CBU fortunate to hold ACU to no points.
Yeah, CBU can't believe that a point wasn't scored on both of those right there. Maddie Miller did a great job to, she missed the shot, but she went and got the ball back for her team, and unfortunately came up empty, but CBU got the ball back now, and they're going to do some work here.
A little bit less than 7 seconds the difference between the game and the shot clock. CBU content to use most of it. San Antonio with 7. Tough angle, offensive rebound, put back with 7 seconds from Sarah Lang. 3 seconds now for Thornton, and she's fouled again late at the end of the period. For the second straight quarter, she draws a foul.
She just wants to close both of these quarters out, I guess.
Now, however, that's only the 4th foul, and it was a foul on the floor.
It was on the floor.
And so it's an inbound with 1.5. CBU making substitutions.
ACU wants to get the last point here going in the half for momentum's sake.
Earl for Miller, has to get it off, and she does. And it's no good. And that takes us into halftime. Abilene Christian is 1-7 this year when they trail at the break. Down 6 right now. The ESPN halftime report is coming up after these messages. It's halftime in Abilene with California Baptist in front by 6 over Abilene Christian. Phenomenal first half of hoops. We'll break it all down in just a little bit. But first, Abilene Christian has a first-year transfer, but a grad student and a fifth-year player in Malia Langstaff. ACU TV's Connor Mullins had a chance to sit down with the Abilene Christian veteran. Langstaff from distance cashes home ACU's third.
So you start your career at Winthrop, you transfer to Northeastern State, you're an All-MIAA honorable mention last season, and you come to ACU this past offseason for your final year. What went into that decision?
I emailed Coach Goodenough, and she emailed me and she was like, we're actually looking for someone in your position. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is really hard because I wanted to go home. But after like a lot of good conversations with her and some of the other coaching staff, I was like, no, okay. I'll just pause the brakes on going home, and I really want to come to Texas and see what it's about. And obviously I love the coaching staff when I was like just talking to them and getting to know them. And so it just made sense.
Kicks it Langstaff. Langstaff hits the second one.
What has the transition been like from the Division II level to the Division I level, and how would you assess where you're at this point in the season?
So coming to D1 again, I was a little bit nervous. Like, am I going to be able to be as dominant as I was last year? So like my nerves are really like high, and I guess I was like really emotional just thinking like, you know, am I cut out to be D1? And when I got here, I just had a lot of support from my parents, from my coaches, my new teammates, and they made me feel comfortable and made me realize like, you know, like all my doubts and everything, like they were just in my head. No one else was doubting, hey, could she come from D2 to play D1? Like, there's just so much support, and I was just really appreciative that everyone was kind of just backing me. And like I said, it made me realize that all the doubts I had were in my head, and no one else had those doubts for me.
What is your relationship with Jamie Bonarens like, and how did that translate to your time here at ACU?
Where I met my best friend, Macy Fox, and Reagan's older sister, is when I lived in Oklahoma my sophomore year. And that's where Jamie is from, Cache, Oklahoma. So we all three played together, me, Macy, and Jamie. They were juniors, and I was a little baby sophomore on varsity with them. And so just like being Jamie's like old teammate, like I always had so much respect for her because she was the junior and I was a sophomore. And fun fact, we have the same birthday. So even that was just like so cool. Like just being a sophomore and like looking up to someone like Jamie, who's an incredible basketball player and has like scoring ability from like 3 different levels. Like, I just respected her so much as a basketball player, and knowing that she had been at ACU, I was like, maybe this is somewhere I do want to be at, because like she was like, my favorite player is LeBron James, and she was like that for me in high school.
When people hear the name Malia Langstaff, what do they need to know?
I think they need to remember number 4 first. First and foremost, they need to remember the 4s. But I think they need to know this is a competitor, someone who is not going to stop, wants to grab boards, wants to get assists, wants to do everything that they can, and wants to do everything that she can to win. And she's a great teammate and a great leader, and I just think that they need to be on the lookout in the WAC because we're coming for them.
For the rest of the season, what are your goals and expectations as a Wildcat?
Just continue to work hard and get better. I would like to shoot a couple more threes, score in the paint a little bit more, and grab some more double-doubles. Just continue to help my team win and do whatever I can to make sure that we end up in the WAC championship.
Well, what a first half. California Baptist on the road in front by 6 at the break. Second half is coming up in just a little bit as well. As we say, welcome courtside, everybody. Zach Carlisle and Sawyer Davis. And I'm telling you what, the way this thing started, it was like, oh, this is going to be really fun. High flying. If you like points, this has been the game for you. Both teams have been running up and down the floor. We've seen a lot of three-point attempts. It's just been really fun basketball tonight.
It has been fun. I think fun is an understatement. It's been entertaining, back and forth, flying around. Just overall really great basketball. And, I mean, you can expect the same thing in the second half.
No lead's been larger than 9. Let's see if we can take a look at the numbers here in the first half presented by First Bank Texas. 50% shooting for California Baptist, but I think to me, the number that stands out the most is we've seen 65 shot attempts in the first half.
I mean, a lot of shot attempts, you know, and as a basketball player, you really want to look at the makes and the misses, but I mean, it really comes down to, you know, possession of ball and who gets the quick points and who gets the quick possessions, and I really do think this game is going to come down right to the wire. You look at the rebound totals, 21-16. Of course, Cal Baptist has the height advantage over ACU, and so that's going to be a real difference maker in this game too.
Yeah, the numbers are spectacular. 33 three-point attempts between the two. Boy, these two teams met last year. It's only the second ever meeting between these two outstanding programs. What a entertaining first half. 37 rebounds combined between the two teams. Well, the second half is moments away. It is California Baptist in front, 42-36 over ACU. Second half coming up. Stay with us. Second half moment.
Talk about CBU's four-year transition process to the Division I level. It started back in 2017, and now this is their first year, 5th season as a D1 school, but first year eligible for all Western Athletic Conference championships and NCAA Division I postseason play. Let's check out this crazy stat. CBU, during their four-year transition process to D1, won a total of 84 games. ACU, during their four-year transition process from 2013 to 2017, won a total of 83 games. So both of these schools know what it takes to win at the Division I level, and now both teams are eligible and Western Athletic Conference foes. Zach and Sawyer, back to you all.
Joseph, thank you. As we start the second half, Malia Langstaff for 3. And it's a three-point game. There's a lot of symmetry between these programs. Abilene Christian was ineligible after moving up to Division I in 2013 for 4 years and won a ton of games. CBU has done it the last 4 years, but a lot of symmetry between two really good programs that were in the WNIT a lot because you're ineligible for the NCAA tournament. ACU in their second year of eligibility in 2018-19 made it to the dance. And California Baptist has its first year of eligibility this season.
And I think that's one of the reasons this game has been the way it is because they both have the same things in the back of their mind, and that's inevitably to get to the tournament. So of course, first the WAC tournament, and then hopefully both teams in the NCAA tournament.
I think they're ideologically very similar, too. They've got a lot of the same concepts, and CBU's really mastered it. One loss in WAC play 2 years ago. Spectacular. Put back for Langstaff. She's fouled after Thornton was no good. A quick 3-0 start to the third period for ACU, and now a chance to cut this to 1 or maybe 2 with Langstaff at the line.
Langstaff's always very dependable to get offensive rebounds under the paint, really quick putbacks, and oftentimes it puts her right where she is right now on the charity stripe.
And the veteran at the stripe into double figures now in points is Langstaff, and she is the game high with 10. Make it 11, and it's a 1-point game.
Abilene Christian finds their way back into this game, down 1, and we are going to find ourselves in a great spot for some great basketball.
On the drive, nice feed, and then the foul committed, and Schmidt will head to the stripe. But that all got started thanks to a fantastic drive for Sela Finau, and Schmidt the recipient. She'll shoot a pair. How phenomenal has been the freshman Grace Schmidt out of Wisconsin? Oh, no good that time.
That one dances on top of the goal. Grace Schmidt's only a 58% free throw shooter, so hopefully she can get one of these to fall, and she does.
1 out of 2 as the lead goes back to 2. And Schmidt inching closer to double figures. 16 double-digit scoring games, including 6 in a row for the youngster out of Wisconsin. Expect her name on that all-freshman team, maybe the WAC freshman of the year, the way she's been playing.
All freshmen for sure, I would say.
Thornton's fouled all the way outside the three-point line by Trinity San Antonio. If that's the matchup there too with Thornton and San Antonio, that is going to be so much fun to watch.
I mean, and you said the symmetry thing, you know, even in the matchups here, we have Schmidt and Martin and San Antonio and Thornton. I mean, these matchups are just so entertaining.
Finau and Miller too. It's the games within the game that make it really fun to watch tonight. 10 on the timer, Langstaff, a good start to the third quarter, and she's blocked by Wu out of bounds. How many times have we seen California Baptist get a hand on a ball? It's going to go officially as their third block, but they are constantly getting their hand on the ball.
Especially Wu there, you know, she's always quick with a hand up, hand in your face. If I'm any team in the WAC, I do not want to go against a player like Wu in my face.
That's Martin, no good. Here come the Lancers. Over 2 minutes into the third. It's been an eventful start to the second half. Schmidt, drop step, spinning, dancing, scoring, and one! Phenomenal!
And Martin can't believe that she was just called for the foul there. Let's see if we can take a look here.
A little razzle-dazzle from the rookie. 13.5 points per game. She's up to 11 here tonight. Her team leads by 4. Martin back to work. So much fun. Post, V, post.
Martin says, if you're going to score on me like that, I'm going to take you down here and do the exact same thing to you.
Wide, wide open, Brittany Clayman, no. 3 for 7, shooting it. 3 for 6 from distance is Clayman tonight.
Here we go again.
The workhorse, Martin! And one.
If that didn't put a smile on your face, I mean, Martin does work down there.
Her nickname on the team is Big Country. She's from Louisiana, not the big country, but making an impact. Wow. A chance to take the lead for Abilene Christian. She hits the free throw, and ACU's in front.
You know, Martin's mascot in high school was the, I think the mascot for Louisiana, the alligator.
Captain Shreve High School. And a foul at this end on Miller for ACU. It's a 10-3 start to the third quarter for Abilene Christian. Catch and shoot, Wu. So confident and dynamic, the junior out of California.
She had a couple misses there late in the second half, but you know, she's such a confident shooter. Like you said, it just doesn't matter. She's going to continue to let that ball fly and find up getting one to fall.
Her third three of the night. By far the team leader in three-point makes. The next closest is Clayman. But Wu's got double the number of makes Clayman does. Earl, nice lob from Thornton, but then the pass taken away. Turnover number 4 for Abilene Christian tonight. Oh, wide open Finau. Quick lay-in, no one there.
I don't know what happened to the Abilene Christian defense there. They just kind of left the paint wide open. Everybody was on that right side.
Thornton from distance.
Thornton's got this incredible concentration right before she shoots. You know, she has that gather step, and it's like she calculates the shot in her head.
San Antonio knife through butter. Phenomenal. The talent on this floor tonight. Langstaff, no. Is there numbers for Finau? There might be with Clayman, the trailer.
Back and forth possessions here.
Miller thought about the three. Halfway through the third. Oh, Thornton again. It's a tie-up. The high-flying hoops continues here in the middle of the third. CBU by 3. halfway through quarter number 3. And California Baptist with the 3-point lead already, 101 points. And we still have about 15 minutes of hoops to go at Moody Coliseum. The lone matchup of the year between these two in the regular season. ACU out of the break has 7 to shoot it. Thornton never afraid to launch. Miller from an extra step away.
And that one gonna roll around and lip out.
There have been 42 combined three-point attempts tonight.
And this ball has been flying all over each end of the court.
Webb had that one blocked away, out of bounds. It'll stay at this end. CBU shooting at 51% from the floor. 20 for 39, incredibly efficient. And both teams have taken care of the ball pretty well tonight as well.
And that's exactly right. And I was just thinking just then, if CBU is shooting 51%, ACU's kind of made this a game. And I think that's credit due to the taking care of the ball aspect and just finding ways to score despite CBU's incredible defense.
Both teams with 8 3-point makes tonight. CBU 8 for 18, ACU 8 for 24. Well, there's Langstaff grabbing the little mop there to sweep it up. And
she does work on the court and off the court. Well-rounded person.
Yeah, some people call that other duties as assigned, I think. Kick it out. Fresh 20, San Antonio inside. Oh, keeping the pivot foot, but Barrington had it blocked. Harjo got in there. The hustle, but now it's Wu. Got it! Her 50th 3 of the season.
And after a scramble with the ball, that's the last person you want to see with it if you're ACU.
Incredible. She's got a dozen. Extra pass, Thornton all alone. What an answer.
Thornton's been kind of a hot shooter in this game as well.
Neither team backing down. When one throws a right hook, the other throws a left hook.
These teams are not afraid to fight. We've seen that early in this game, and that's going to continue.
San Antonio. Her dribble drive, unlike any other. Great control off the bounce.
It's like she doesn't see the defenders. She just goes right through them.
Ball deflected, taken away. Barros, and now San Antonio is fouled by Langstaff. First foul of the night on Langstaff.
Smooth little hook shot over her head as she gets fouled there. You know, I think she was kind of paying tribute to the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
The ability to kind of let the ball hang in your hands and get out wide with it.
Exactly.
To draw the foul. San Antonio having a night, leading scorer with a baker's dozen now. 80% foul shooter for the season. No good on the second. I jinxed her. Her first miss tonight at the line.
She's going to come after you for that.
Yeah, that's right. She's going to come back and watch it and send me a note on Twitter or something. Hey, it's your fault. It's Harjo mid-range. No. Under 3, but a fresh 20 after the rebound. 14 total offensive rebounds tonight. Thornton, 8 to go for Langstaff. Miller through traffic, 3 to shoot it, turns it over. The steal, but no numbers for the visiting Lancers. Down to the wire we go in the third, 2.5. San Antonio again! What a finish!
You have 2 on you, and she says, no problem, I got it.
Spectacular sophomore. Burst onto the scene last year. Having herself a remarkable sophomore campaign. Langstaff straight away.
Those were nice pump fakes by Miller there to shift the defense any way she wanted.
Pass wide, too far out of bounds. The lead up to 8 for CBU. Despite that turnover, the Lancers have made 6 of their last 8 shots. Abilene Christian with 100 seconds now to go in the third. Oh, quick three. Thornton, no. San Antonio keeps it alive. Wu off the fake this time will finish inside. She's been hitting threes all night. That time fakes it, scores it, and a timeout for Julie Goodenough. A lead of 10 for California Baptist, their largest on the road. Late third.
Our early leaders sought a new campus on which to build a better future. Surely they could not have imagined how much their vision would grow. Today, Abilene Christian is recognized in national benchmarks for student success outcomes, research productivity, and athletic accomplishments. As we embark on next steps, we are uniquely poised to become one of the nation's premier Christian universities. We invite you to join us. We will climb higher together.
For years, I trained to be the best linebacker on the field. That drive made me a top performer at the NFL Combine, and I played 5 seasons in the NFL. Now I'm working toward another dream, building my own business, training athletes to help improve their performance. I want to be the best businessman I can, so I'm getting my MBA at ACU.
Get your degree online at acu.edu.
As a proud Texan, I want my family to have the best future possible, and that mission is also a part of the business I founded. At OSO, we strive to make a positive, impactful difference in the lives of our employees as well as our customers. Specifically, we want to love our neighbor as ourselves, and those values were shaped when I got my MBA from ACU.
Accelerate your career online at acu.edu.
I always dreamed of doing something that would make a difference, and so getting as much knowledge as possible was important to me. I love the fact that you can dream a new reality and then see it come true with hard work. Today, I know I'm making a difference, and a big part of seeing my dream come true was when I got my master's at ACU.
Get your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
California Baptist in front by 10 late in the third quarter. Hey, the 2023 Hercules Tires WAC basketball tournament takes place March 6th through the 11th at the Michelob Ultra Arena and the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. For more information on the road to WAC Vegas, visit wacsports.com. Late third, it's a 7-0 run here for California Baptist to go up by 10. Their largest of the game, and Sawyer Abilene Christian hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes.
The scoring drought is 224 as of right now, and in that timeout, I think Julie Goodenough said, hey, look, guys, we're down 10. We haven't scored in a while. I think it's time for our offense to get buzzing here. And with this passing right now, I think is the effort by the Wildcats trying to get something going.
ACU unable to convert it. And CBU comes the other way with under a minute in the third. CBU, their third quarter is their best quarter. They're plus 29 for the season. And now wide open. Barros for three is no good. Graham rebounds, no numbers. Maybe Jackson can go. But she loses the ball and the turnover. Here come the Lancers trying to respond. No shot clock. And Clayman will take the three, no good. Jackson had it taken. Wide open again. Barros banks it in. Wow, tough angle, hits the three.
We're gonna find that three no matter what they did.
3 seconds. Jackson is going to have to launch it. It's no good. And that takes us to the end of the third quarter. A 10-0 run for CBU to end the third, and a 13-point lead. Fourth quarter coming up next.
Get ready for an entire week in WAC Vegas. More teams, more games. The 2023 Hercules Tires WAC Basketball Tournament. March 6th through the 11th at the Michelob Ultra Arena and the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. For ticket information, go to waxsports.com.
The world needs more light bringers and courageous leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small, creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
As a single mom and a full-time nursing assistant, I knew going back to school could be a challenge. But ACU made online school easy for me. From the start, I felt safe, supported, and even comforted by the faculty. With their encouragement and help, I'm getting my degree in healthcare administration and showing my girls they can overcome any obstacle and dare to achieve their dreams, just like their mom.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Here is the winning number. Check those tickets.
Start of the fourth quarter at Moody Coliseum in Abilene, Texas. California Baptist with a 13-point lead over Abilene Christian. Zach Carlisle, Sawyer Davis, glad you're with us. Here's what's coming up for CBU. The Texas road trip wraps up Saturday at Tarleton before back home for 2 of the next 3, Utah Valley and Utah Tech, with a road date at New Mexico State in there as well. ACU, quick turnaround, off they go to Edinburgh for UTRGV on Saturday. Back home for Tarleton at UTA and Southern Utah at home. ACU's schedule kind of lines up with home Thursdays, road Saturdays the rest of the way. But hey, we're down to the wire here the last few weeks of this regular season.
And I've said it, it's February, you know, and these players are going to feel the intensity of February, and then of course March, all the madness that happens around the country. It is basketball season, and everyone loves it.
Best time of year. Here is the drive for Chloe Webb. It is a charge, an offensive foul. Webb called for the penalty. Earl took the charge, and the third foul on Webb tonight.
For as many drives as these Lancers have taken, that's the first charge that ACU has come up with, and that's going to be huge if they can get the momentum shift their way.
Meanwhile, Abilene Christian trying to solve the puzzle at this end of the floor. Final half of the third period was a struggle to shoot it. Thornton changes that. Good start to the fourth for number 1. $16 points for Aspen Thornton tonight. And now Webb driving, and the foul on Earl for ACU.
Thornton is now 4 for 9 from the parking lot, and I think she's done a great job at, you know, just being a confident and focused shooter is how I would describe her.
6 points was all she had in Monday's win over Utah Valley. 16 on 5 of 11 shooting. Barrington for 3, no good. Tapped around. Look at Thornton tap it to Martin. In a 10-point difference, Thornton nifty handles off the window. Smooth from the young sophomore. Webb lines one up, deep, off the head, it appeared. Hit off of somebody, and out of bounds it's going to stay with CBU. Schmidt and Wu return.
It did hit off of somebody. You got that right. From this angle, I couldn't really tell where, but it looks like it's going to be CBU ball.
Couldn't tell if it hit off of somebody's head, then went out. Oh, they had Schmidt alone. The pass was high, and Martin takes it away off the deflection.
Cal Baptist early in this fourth quarter making a few more mistakes than they made in the whole game. And
Langstaff, no, couldn't finish it. Wu with her 5th rebound. Schmidt back to work, turning, scoring.
You can always count on big 3-3 in there in the painted area to get things done.
13 points, 5 boards tonight for the freshman. Langstaff in the middle. No. Wu, another board.
Martin jumped a little bit too early there, couldn't come down with the board. Possession goes back to CBU.
Langstaff 3 for 10 shooting tonight. Schmidt kept it, had it stolen. Thornton active tonight. Gets the swipe. In a 10-point game. ACU with their 5 starters on the floor. Langstaff got it, tough angle.
She's jumping over tall people and getting things done. Malia Langstaff always has the finesse when she drives in the ball. She can score in creative ways.
Schmidt turns, defender goes down. Schmidt couldn't finish it.
ACU only down by 8. They're going to have to take advantage of these empty possessions by the Lancers that they've had.
Miller in the middle. There's that mid-range. It's open. Timeout for Jared Olson in CBU as it's back to a 6-point difference with 6.5 to go. ACU trying to close that gap. It was a 10-point game. Now a 6-point difference. 6.5 to go. Outstanding finish in the fourth coming up. 6.5 to go in the ball game tonight. California Baptist with a 6-point lead over Abilene Christian. After the timeout for the Lancers, the quick basket for Trinity San Antonio. Jared Olson wanted the timeout, right out of it. They get 2.
And here we go. We're almost sub 5 minutes into this game. And CBU's really got to do some work to take care of the ball. They want to win this game. They lost their last 2 with, a differential of 5 points. And so that would be a really great, just uplifting moment for them to win this game handily against ACU.
Abilene Christian with 29 attempts from 3 tonight. CBU at 24. No surprise, 2 of the teams that take almost as many as anybody. CBU 6th in the country in 3-point attempts per game at just shy of 29. The staple of both of these programs, they're just built so similarly. It's fun to see when those two, when 2 schools that are built on similar principles get together on the same night.
And I bet it's easy for the rest of the league to look at both of these teams and compare them and see, if we're going to play Cal Baptist, this is what ACU is going to look like, and so it has its perks and it has its disadvantages.
Miller going to launch it. Big 3 for ACU to cut it to 5.
It's crunch time, no doubt, for ACU.
You would have been hard-pressed to find folks as Wu wants the answer. That's no good. Maddie Miller only having 8 points and her team down 5. You wouldn't have thought that coming into the night.
Maddie Miller's definitely one of the powerhouse players of this Wildcat team. There's Malia Langstaff.
Back to work goes number 4. Miller and Langstaff, the only 2 upperclassmen, both graduate students in the classroom. Miller in her 5th year with Abilene Christian. Langstaff in her 5th year of college basketball, her 1st year at ACU.
You talk about these graduate students, Maddie Miller's been here the entire time, and she's grown up kind of shaping this team in the way that she wants as she is the senior leadership. And so she's seen a lot of different teams, and here she is tonight looking for a win.
Well, there's your difference between the 2 teams. If there's one big difference tonight, as Jared Olson looks on, he's got a lot more of a veteran team, does CBU. They have 9 upperclassmen. Now, none of them are true seniors, but 3 5th years and 6 juniors on the roster compared to just the 4 underclassmen. And so that veteran leadership can really be important, especially when you get into the tournament in March.
And a lot more experienced players know what's on the line. They've got a taste of the tournament, and they know they want to go back.
San Antonio lines one up. Her first attempt from the outside tonight is no good. .4:38 to go. Miller lost it. Just underhands at Langstaff. How about that? Back to 2.
I couldn't believe that ball didn't go out of bounds right underneath the basket, but Miller does an incredible job to see the court as she's handling the ball, gets Langstaff to open 3.
Whoa! Answers! Spectacular!
Back-to-back 3-point shots. That's how this game's been all night. It's not going to stop now.
Earl bumped. Barely, not much. But it's a foul on San Antonio, and she's fouled out of the game. 17 points, the leading scorer with 6 assists and 3 rebounds. And her night comes to an end with 4 minutes to go. That's huge.
And that's a big loss for CBU. And ACU only down 5 here. They've got to take advantage of that. One of their best shooters is out. And so, and not only one of their best shooters, one of their best defenders by far. So ACU's got an opportunity here.
Archo answers the opportunity to cut it back to 3. Look back on that moment with 4 minutes to go. San Antonio fouling out. And remember, no Nene Calhoun. She's been out for the last handful of games. Schmidt, no good. ACU's made its last 5 shots, made its last 6 shots. Harjo, back to 1.
It's the Wildcats getting hot in here.
Wu may be the big answer for the Lancers. Can they get number 1,
Wu
the
wide
Rock?
open.
She's got it. No good. Abilene Christian is fouled. Miller.
And that's a huge foul.
That's the 5th of the period. It's free throws for Miller. Abilene Christian hasn't had the lead since 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
They had Wu for a wide open 3, and Wu was open for a long time. Couldn't get it to fall. They fight for the rebound. ACU gets it back, and Miller's got a chance to put ACU in the lead.
This place was going bonkers, and it dropped to a dead silence as Miller hits that one. Abilene Christian leads for the first time in 14 minutes of gameplay.
Much like the score, the emotions have been all over the place. I mean,
it's a 6-0 run.
Under 3 minutes to go.
On a drive!
Wow.
Chloe Webb! Spectacular! CBU back in front. Now Martin. Short. Chance to run for Clayman.
She got right around Schmidt there, but a little too far as she hits the underside of the backboard.
Late game situations. You talked about it in our keys to the game. CBU's had games go down to the wire a lot this season. Stripped, a foul.
A lot this season, a lot this week. It's
Right.
happened twice before, and here it is again.
To your point, 62-61 loss to New Mexico State. 66-62 loss to Sam Houston on Saturday. Last 2 games decided by 5 points.
And you know, with the absence of Nene Calhoun, I feel like Cal Baptist has done a great job spreading the floor, kind of spreading the share of points through each of their players. I think they've done a great job. It's just, they've gotten a little laxed early in the 4th quarter for sure, and that's why they're in a situation that they're in right now.
Webb hits a pair to go up 3. 2 minutes to go. Each of the last, if this holds, 6 games now for CBU would be decided by 10 points or less. Here goes Langstaff. Off the glass, back to 1.
Malia Langstaff doing what she does, creating shots kind of out of nowhere.
Clayman, no, timeout from the bench called by Jared Olson. With 1:40. $100 seconds to go. California Baptist by 1. Well, here's the standings coming in. This is why this game matters. Look at CBU in a 3-way tie for 4th. Record-wise coming in, the top 12 go to the tournament. Abilene Christian, a game back of Utah Tech.
And you just said, CBU just lost to the 2 teams that are ahead of them, so that would be huge to win this one.
Once they determine which 12 are in Vegas, then they will reseed based on this resume seeding, which takes into account your entire schedule, non-conference and conference. SFA at the top. You see CBU right there in the middle. Abilene Christian in the negative as well. So that's all determinant as to how this thing goes down the rest of the way. But CBU trying to get a road win to add to that resume seeding. Off the handoff, Finau, the layup, no. Tapped away. Earl's got it. ACU with a minute and a half can take the lead.
And this place is rocking. ACU with possession, only down 1.
18 to shoot it. They've loaded it to one side. Thornton with a dozen seconds. Martin fell down. It's a takeaway for Barrington.
She was posting up, and Barrington just got out of the way, and Martin fell over. And
Clayman, huge three, no good. Look at Wu on the deck. ACU's got it.
What a recovery by the Wildcats. Here we go.
Langstaff, no. Loose. Wu and Langstaff there. The jump ball. The arrow stays with Abilene Christian with 53 and a half.
Good enough looking for a timeout.
Yep,
she's going to get it.
Timeout, Abilene Christian. With a 1-point game, 53 and a half seconds to go. Boy, as we welcome you courtside, what a finish this will be. What does Abilene Christian do here? Down 1, they've got the possession. Who do you think they look for here?
Well, there's a number of players they could go for here, and I think it's Aspen Thornton that's been confident in her shooting, especially late in these situations. Personally, I would go with Aspen Thornton. You could go inside and try to get the easy bucket with Addison Martin. So there are a number of shooters you could go to.
There's a lot of options here, and it gets down to the wire with 53 and a half ticks. Martin's had herself a good night with 13 points. Langstaff and Thornton each have 18 for Abilene Christian. A fresh 20 on their shot clock. Thornton with the catch. Loose ball, Martin grabs it. 10 to shoot it for Bella Earl. Extra pass, Langstaff for the lead. Loose, rebound. About 6 seconds is the difference between game and shot clock, and Miller gets a steal.
Huge steal.
And now Abilene Christian with virtually no time between the game and shot clock, a chance to take the lead late. Double screen, Thornton's gonna take it. Not close, saved out of bounds was Miller. There's 10 seconds. And timeout, CBU to advance it into the front court.
Miller looked like a superhero, just jumping up there, throwing that ball back to Thornton. Couldn't get it done. Stepped out of bounds. Ball was out of bounds.
Thornton, they tried to open her up for a three with a double screen, and there was no chance at that one going in.
And she used her step back move that she's used a dozen times now. Just couldn't get the right shot to fall.
Abilene Christian with a chance to go in front, and Thornton goes into the screen and then not so much, and Miller was out of bounds, and so CBU will have it, and ACU, you figure now they'll have to foul.
They will have to foul and play the game that so many teams in crunch time have to play. You foul, get the free throws, try to get the ball back. It's a dangerous game. It works sometimes, but when it works, you get the win.
Well, and Abilene, they each have one timeout, so for ACU, they'll go for the steal if they don't get it, foul, and then depending on the free throw outcomes, they would then probably call the timeout, to advance
the ball.
To have one more shot at their end. First things first, CBU with the ball. Trying to get a huge road win of these Lancers. They haven't scored in 2 minutes and 3 seconds of game time. Still with the lead. They go in, try to get the foul. They'll get it. Hardjoe and Langstaff in there. They had to take Martin out, 12 for ACU, to have someone else commit the foul because Martin's got 4. Then they'll put Martin back in for the offensive possession.
Did not want Martin to have that foul.
Defense for offense substitution. That was only the 4th foul for Abilene Christian, and so they'll have to do it one more time to put CBU at the line. They will foul 6.4. And so this will be free throws after the foul for Bella Earl. And it's Chloe Webb with 6.4. A chance to go up 2, potentially 3. No good. Huge miss.
You can at least be down 2, and if you're Abilene Christian, you just want a rebound.
Second one good. Timeout, Abilene Christian. That was a pressure free throw to make sure that it was at least 2 for CBU. 6.5 seconds. Abilene Christian will have one chance to tie or win.
Now, this is always personal preference. What do you do here, Zach? Do you go for the win? Do you go for the tie?
I mean, they went for the lead last time, and Thornton was not close on the 3. That's interesting. See what the plan will be for Abilene Christian. They need one shot to tie or win with 6 seconds. CBU trying to win a close game for the first time in a couple.
And I think what's going on in CBU's head is, for one thing, you do not want to foul. And if you foul, the free throws are just going to be killer for you.
If you were up 3, they could foul.
If you were up 3, they could foul, but only up 2 here.
Foul.
That's just
right.
a risk you cannot take if you're CBU.
This is going to be interesting to see how hard they'll have to defend it. The inbound will come from the sideline. So this thing will come down to the wire. Thornton and Langstaff lead ACU with 18 tonight. Martin 13 in the paint.
And if I'm CBU, I might just, instead of fouling the 2-point shot, you might have to allow it and go to overtime
and not give up the 3 to lose.
Exactly. Just a number of outcomes this could come down to.
6.4. A 2 ties it for Abilene Christian. A 3 could potentially win it. Thornton will drive it, floats that, no! California, let's see, when did the foul occur? When did the foul occur? I think it was prior to the double zeros hitting.
It did sound like there was a whistle before the horn.
They went with Thornton. The shot was no good. CBU came up with the ball and then the foul. Let's take a look. Ooh, look at Thornton. She looked like she may have tweaked something.
She's over there in the huddle, bent over, kind of touching her ankle. I don't know if it's her ankle or her knee. It's definitely something bothersome.
So she's going to drive left. So instead of settling for the 3, decides to drive. And look at that. It looked like that left. She
stopped
down.
real hard on that.
Couldn't get enough oomph.
She's grabbing the back of her leg.
And then the rebound, and Wu is fouled. So the question is, how much time is on the clock when that foul is committed? Tenths of a second, maybe? I mean, I don't think there's much.
Not much at all.
So it should be a foul on the Wildcats. And so ACU goes to Thornton twice in back-to-back possessions. 0 for 2, and CBU now a tenths of a second, I imagine, away from winning this game.
And it looked like almost ACU was going to try to draw the foul there. Of course, CBU smarter than that. They know not to foul on the 2. An empty possession there. Officials still talking about it.
Now they got to get the clock sorted out. And it's a block. They're going to credit the block to Chloe Webb. So then Wu gets the board, and it's a foul on Abilene Christian after that. So the question is, how much time is left? She drives with about 3. And then it's when is the foul committed? Less than 1, then the foul.
At most 8 tenths.
Yeah,
at most.
0.5. I mean, there's just not much time left. And so you figure free throws first and then a heave with a tenth of a second.
A prayer. A heave and a prayer is what that would be.
Again, checking the clock. The officials are now talking together.
Crowd's starting to get restless here.
I mean, yeah, you're right, 0.8 maybe at the most.
Maybe, yeah.
0.5 or less is my assumption. 0.5, 0.4 maybe even. Not sure what the decision will be. This is taking forever, though. It's my only complaint with replay is how long the time.
Well, they want to get it right. I mean, both of these teams would rather these officials have a good, a good outcome of this.
Definitely less than one, because it was a block. Wu got it, then the foul committed. So they're going to talk to the scorer's table to put the correct time. No shot clock, obviously, but 0.7. 0.7 the decision. And so it'll be, I still believe a foul was committed. We're going to get the official to come over and talk to us. So they did confirm the foul on Abilene Christian at this end to put free throws here.
Throws on that side
for Dorcas Wu. And it is a foul on Martin, I believe. It's Addison Martin called for the foul, so she is fouled out of the game, so they have to substitute there as well. 0.7. No timeouts for Abilene Christian, so they have to try to throw something up full court.
And obviously, she makes both of these
games over anyway.
Game's over.
Wu at the line, spectacular night for number one. Ugh. No good.
We might be in store for something crazy. We just don't ever know.
At most, it'll be 3. Wu, no. Earl will launch it, and that's it. California Baptist, a huge win on the road. A close win to snap the 2-game skid for CBU. Big-time victory.
And they're good to be on the other side of close games. They've been on the losing side of close games, but to be on the winning side's got to be a sweet taste in their mouth.
How big is the win for California Baptist to come on the road to start this weekend?
I think the win brings assurance, especially with a team so closely matched with you, it just puts reassurance in your brain, and now you can finish the rest of February with a good thought in your brain.
So CBU, a 77-75 win over Abilene Christian. As the Lancers get back over 500, they're now 8-4 in WAC play on the season as well.
Fans, at this time, you can make your way down to the court for tonight's post-game selfie.
And so the Lancers with a 2-point win on the road in Abilene. And they'll wrap up the weekend at Tarleton on Saturday. Great game, well done. This has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN.